that is going to get you the supplement. Once you have that supplement and you have your dog on that for about 2 months, you should notice a decrease in shedding. A lot of times it's from a nutritional deficit. There are a lot of different dogs, many at certain breeds, that have particular shedding issues because they don't absorb minerals and vitamins. So if you go onto the website, or if you go onto that newvet.com, you can, like the dog eating poop, I love dogs. Same thing, when dogs are eating poop or eating rocks or chewing on sticks, assuming they're not teething anymore, it is generally a nutritional problem. Even if you're giving the best nutrition in the world, you need to give a vitamin. Most of us take a multivitamin. You need to put your dog on a multivitamin supplement like NuVet, which is the one we use. There's no corn, wheat, or soy in it.
If your dog is eating poop, you ought to look at your dog food you're feeding. You're either not feeding enough or it's just full of fillers and he's not getting anything. So you need to change the food. Let's go to another question.
Okay, who's next?
We've got the Saeed from Ohio.
Welcome, Saeed.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and another good program. This question is about my neighbor. My neighbor has an Airedale Terrier, and during the Super Bowl, we were invited to go over to their house, and I noticed that dog was in the kitchen for all the 3 hours. They would tell him to get off of the food, and then they would take him to the basement. He'd come back again, gets his big head on top of the counter, eats everything. Well, yesterday, my neighbor came over and he told me that while they were out to eat, he went and he steals everything in the kitchen. Now they have a big problem with him, and they don't know what to do. And actually, he was supposed to be with me tonight, but unfortunately he had to work. So what would you suggest that this person does with this dog?
All right, again, I can't just say, go do this and the dog will quit counter surfing. The people have to change everything they've been doing. They're not walking the dog properly. They're not the leader. They're not setting any rules in the house. And they're not feeding him good food. They're allowing him to get away with these behaviors, but they don't know how to correct it properly. They'll pull him off the counter. They'll throw a shaker can at him. They'll squirt him with water, but that's not changing anything. That's adding to the excitement level. If the dog is unaltered, it could be a sex thing. Sex and food are the two biggest prey drives in dogs. If you've got dogs with this many issues and it's unaltered, you need to get it altered. That's all right, enough of that one. But there's not just one thing we can tell them to do to stop that. People call us up and say, my dog jumps a fence, how do I fix it? And I say, well, get a bigger fence. Because if you're not there to correct it, you can't help it. So there's no answer to that question other than to perhaps give them our book as a gift, see if they'll read it and follow it, and then the dog will stop doing it.
Okay. We can take the next call.
All right, you have Deborah from Linden, Wisconsin, I believe.
Hey, Deborah.
Washington. Hey. Now,
I'm sorry, Washington.
I just have a quick question, and that is in regards to some of the articles that I read, was that it was necessary to keep a dog, a well-obedient dog, for 5 minutes at a sitting position. That is, to my way of thinking, that's outrageously long. There's no way I can keep Tia at that sitting position.
Okay, here's the thing. In the wild, the pack leader does not tell the pack members, hey guys, sit here for 5 minutes, then raise your right paw, roll over and play dead, and I'll give you dinner. We don't care if the dog sits. What do we really want? When people come over to the front door and people say, the owners say, sit, 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 100 times. The dog is excited. Excitement leads to dominant behaviors. Dominant behaviors, humping, jumping, barking, growling, blocking, bumping. Dominance leads to aggression. So by getting your dog excited and making him sit for 5 minutes just means that you made him sit for 5 minutes. If he's hungry and drooling, all you're going to do is make him bloat more easily because he's going to get more excited. We don't teach a dog to sit. We don't care if he sits. At the front door, what's the thing we really don't want? We don't want our dogs jumping on our guests or biting our guests. We don't want our dogs running out the door. My dogs, 8 dogs, they don't have to sit. I couldn't take enough time to make 8 dogs sit. But I can teach my dogs the rules. You don't run out the front door and you don't jump on people. So once the dogs learn, like you're the pack leader and the dog, if you feed him, once you walk away, that's his clue, his key, that it's time for him to eat. If you're standing by his bowl, he should not go. You need to, again, buy the book, claim the food, then just put the food down and walk away. I don't teach my dogs tricks. Mark doesn't teach his dog tricks. None of us teach our dogs what they need to do. It's just teaching our dog the rules of what we want to do and then moving on with our lives. Okay, do we have any more questions?
I guess one more quick question we can take from Teresa from Michigan.
Thank you. I just have a quick question. I'm a sponsor of the ASPCA, and I've been thinking about being a foster mom to some of these animals. I have 3 dogs. If I decide to do it, how do you think my dogs would react taking in these abused animals? Would they take advantage knowing that they're scared and frightened?
Well, if you're not the leader, yes, they can. All you're doing is bringing another dog with other issues into a house with dogs with issues. But if your dogs are stable, you could bring 40 dogs into your house, as long as you know what you're doing. We love you guys who do the fostering. We actually have a modified whisperer program that we actually teach foster people how to rehabilitate the dogs that's in their care, so when you adopt them out, they're good dogs. Otherwise, you're just keeping a bad dog like a Christmas fruitcake and waiting for somebody who wants it. That's not changing the dog. You're going to send a bad dog to a home, and that dog's going to end up back with you or in a shelter or euthanized. So you need to change what you're doing with your 3 dogs. If you can't walk your 3 dogs, how are you going to walk 8 dogs? So once you start your dogs and get your dogs on track and make your dogs stable, you can bring as many dogs in as you want because you're going to do the same technique on the new dogs. If one of your dogs is the leader, he's gonna start biting or fighting or who knows what. We've got to wrap up the show for this week. We appreciate you guys listening in. We're here every Sunday night on the best Paltalk show in America. Watch us, listen to us every week. Get the book so you really understand what we're saying. We can't read the book to you, and some of this might not make sense to you at this moment. But once you read the book and understand our philosophy on how dogs think and how simple this really is, but it's changing our way of thinking, your dogs will not have an issue. We guarantee it.
Okay, so thank you so much.